Hi, it's Robin. Something different here this week. I was just at the Vintage Computer Festival Midwest just last weekend, September 14th and 15th, 2019, and that's near Chicago, Illinois. I shot a bunch of video while I was there, and I've edited it down here to about 20 minutes. I have a video collage of the sights and sounds of the show.
That's the room closest to the main doors. OS, a Unix-like 6502 operating system. Go where they're supposed to go, no blue smoke escapes. But if you find Chris at the Sinclair Spectrum station in room B, has a DC that all attendees and exhibitors wear that banner that you saw when you walked in the main doors. If you're not wearing a badge, please head on over to those tables and put yourself together. We've got lanyards in both basic black and hoodie purple, VCF Midwest and VCCC 2019.
I also record some interviews with some friends about interesting retro computer projects they're working on, but I'll put those together in another episode soon.
There are those who so I take it you're not.
I've been going to a retro computer event in the Chicago area every single year since the late 90s. I think this is the 22nd year in a row that I've gone down.
I haven't officially said hi. Hi, Rob. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
If you notice here, like you could change how many scan lines it spends computing or making video. It's pretty cool. So you can speed it up or slow it down. And I brought my Spectrum too. A good Spectrum. I was gonna make a bad joke, but I won't. Because they basically, they had no. The only graphics they could do was
I turned it down a little bit. Oh, it even has the ad-lib sound. Oops. So the build I would need here. No, that doesn't work. Okay.
It's been a while since I looked.
Well, that's pretty cool. I'm taking a little while getting used to that.
It hasn't always been called the Vintage Computer Festival. Originally, there was the SRAP Expo, run by the Southwest Regional Association of Programmers, and by Southwest, they meant Southwest Chicago. That went on for several years, and then they suddenly canceled in 2006, leaving us regulars in the lurch. So my friend Jason Compton decided to rent the venue himself, and that's how the ECCC was born, the Emergency Chicagoland Commodore Convention. The emergency was that there wasn't going to be a show.
As you can see, it's fully operational. You want to try it? Connect 1200. Between while we run presentations, because the announcements are also as components that he's offering in room B at the Spectrum and a control table in room D. And sign up for that, and we'll be making announcements probably at about 5. We'll have GecOS, a Unix-like 6502 operating system. There'll be a little bit of a lunch break, and then Alan Hightower will begin the afternoon's presentations with one every hour for the rest of the afternoon.
One analog and digital pair where
You have announced that the other like us to do, where you can buy your t-shirts for $20 for presentation and carry.
Then in 2010, I think it was, the Chicago Classic Computing guys moved the VCF Midwest, that they had already been running for a while at other locations, in with us at ECCC.
All the home computer versions is just one button, to fire, which is interesting.
Yeah, so it's like you can shoot 3 at once in them, eh?
I think. I don't know. I haven't tried. Okay, I just lost the city. Oh, yeah, and it runs out of missiles at different bases.
I don't know. It's way more unforgiving as well.
Yeah.
Because you do have those extra aspects going on, but then you get to. We'll see if they have it set to the default extra city at 10,000. We'll see. That's another thing that's been like really fun to mess with since I have my own now is like going inside and switching around the dip switches to try the different game modes.
Then gradually VCF Midwest has gotten bigger and bigger, and ECCC has become like a smaller event within the event. But nowadays we're not too concerned about platform wars or what's better or anything. Most of us are just interested in everything that's going on at the show.
Challenging challenger.
I'm pre-packing.
Sewage 64, it's beautiful.
So you know why I bought it?
Do you have
Because
smell-o-vision? Because it smells.
How's this gonna smell?
there will be no, there's no way I will try to clean it up. You know what I mean? I won't
It's
want
like that
to restore it.
forever.
Yes.
Oh God, did you see the trip marks on the side?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let this young man
What is that? I can smell it.
Would you smell coffee on it, or
No, it's probably used like in a factory or something.
That's coffee. That's what that is.
Yeah.
It's like vanilla.
It's dip spit.
This keyboard, this computer is beautiful. It is beautiful, just the way it is.
This is Jim's first son. This was a retro innovation gone wrong.
Is it ever?
Or gone right.
I was surprised to learn that David Murray would be at the show this year. We had met at ECCC way back in 2005, before he was the 8-bit guy. That was just after I had worked on the C64 DTV with Jerry Ellsworth, and he became one of the leading DTV hackers. He had a great website about how to do the different hacks, neat projects, and then we've stayed in touch ever since. Sometimes we talk on the phone. LGR and Ben Heck were also there. I've known Ben for quite a few years, but I never met LGR before. He was a really cool guy. He's basically just the same as he is in his videos.
$9 million. First one you may want to consider in the talks room is Pat McCower will present one hat to our telephony fans here today. We could be in lira even in the VCF Midwest donations box, which is located just to the right of the Check OS and units like 6502 operating system. Rooms B, C, and D will run all day with exhibits and exhibitions and entertainments for you.
Yeah.
I'm doing one right now.
Nice.
4K, 60 frames a second.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hope it doesn't have black stuff.
I mean, I was running with it, doing I've got the directions for it, but it's not dodgy.
This drives me nuts. You already explained in the video. I'm not going to explain.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask it again. But this, I could not do that. That drives me up the wall.
With the spacing? Yeah.
Can't you just do 4 angles?
Yeah. Only because this executes faster.
No, I mean, that's a computer thingy.
A lot of the appeal for me going down to this show is not only seeing the old computers, but seeing all the friends I've met over the years. Many of these people I only get to see once or maybe twice a year. So shout outs to all of them. Jason, Laura, Adrian, Mark, Oliver, Jim, Eric, John, Elwix, Ella, Dustin, Nico, Tyler, Greg, Kevin, Leaf, Mike, Dan, Joey, Jess, Ian, and I'm sorry if I forgot any of you.
I'll be back later, but you probably won't be.
Another one that was just, he was actually just
Oh, okay. Yeah, geez, they still do this. Okay, good.
and like I said, it wasn't working. It was just,
If there's a retro computer show around you, I really recommend you try to go. I drive all the way down from Canada. It takes me about 12 hours of driving each way, although some of that I carpool with my friends. And it's totally worth it to me to do this trip every year. And if there isn't a show anywhere around you, you can just find a few local people into the hobby. You can put together a small meeting or event locally. You can usually find free meeting space, like a public library, or a lot of groups meet at a church or a restaurant. They've got the tables. You just bring some computers and extension cables and you're set to have a fun time, make some new friends and learn something. This really seems to be a growing hobby. And this was by far the biggest show yet in all these years I've been going down there. At some points there were maybe 50, 60 people showing up for these events, and it almost seemed like the hobby was dying out. But in recent years it's been growing like unbelievably. We've moved locations a few times, and this is the first year in this new venue. It's absolutely huge. There's a big ballroom split into 4 rooms with like dividing walls. Everybody took a name tag. There were at least 700 name tags available, and they're all used, and there were many people walking around without name tags after. So I don't know, I think we know for sure there's 700 people. There might have been 800, 900, 1,000 even over the course of the weekend. So it appears to be a growing hobby. I don't think we ever thought that here in 2019 that we would still be, there would be such a great big scene around these old computers. But I think it's mostly thanks to the internet, to YouTube, that retro computer fans can find each other and put on these kind of events.
Yeah, believe it or not, that's not the biggest one they made. It's a big one, but it's not the biggest.
28 to 512K. They're like
Everything hey, I've seen this past. Yeah, they're pretty good size.
That's still 600. That's going to be 600, and I'm going to cry a little bit when it comes down.
Yeah, so they're not game soundtracks. They're
I like it a lot.
$250 now. It is an 1895 Swiss calculating machine. Yeah, well, that's what it was called, and when it was originally, so they made them from 1895 till about 1935.
Is this the IBM one or a different one?
This is a different one. This is Swiss-made, which makes sense because it's basically all clockwork and functions more or less on the same principles as a clock. When you think of the clock, you got your second hand and your minute hand. Once it gets around to the top, it kicks over to the next place. Same thing in base 10 is kind of how this functions. And then right down here, that's actually your multiplication tables. So I can actually perform this operation if I can line it up perfectly. There's a plate, but I've taken it off. And I can usually line it up by sight pretty well. So I can perform that operation 9 times.
Get out of here with that. That's insanity. And you set your numbers of what you're trying to subtract.
In this case, I'm subtracting, yes.
Right, now what other functions do you have on here? So you have
functioning, just subtraction.
Okay.
You should be able to do all 4.
But it only does subtraction.
It only does
works
subtraction
subtraction
today,
right now. Don't F with it.
Yeah.
Unless you can maybe find some old documentation
There's
out there
documentation.
somewhere.
Yeah, there's documentation on it, and I haven't fully taken it apart yet.
And a non-working 11.
But I also have this ACA 500 Plus.
Okay.
So this is an expansion card that adds basically megahertz to 42 megahertz.
Okay.
It's invasive. This is still 68,000 base, so it's not like FPGA shoving in there. It's like a 6. It does anything and everything. See the next cube. It's beautiful. Oh my God.
We university when we had
Okay, where is this cube?
it's in the front of the. They have like a clear left and right cursor keys.
Yep.
No up and down though. Yeah, this is it. This is it. So you.
So it probably for because it's nostalgia. How did you do it? Yeah, you can do it. Everybody does it. It might find you, right now this is millions of times more powerful than all of this. But 30 years ago, that was
It really is beautiful to see all this stuff displayed. Like I do have an appreciation for the history. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, and that's what I like the throwback aspect of it. Plus, there's a lot of I couldn't get it. A lot of these things that I found now, I wanted back then, but I couldn't get. I couldn't afford them, or they were too hard to find, or that sort of thing. All right, guys. my guess is that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been working on my YouTube channel lately. Yeah. Short clips.
When you finish the show,
Getting off in your car.
you see it now. YouTube.
One viewer. I got an old Sim 1, which is like actually I got it connected to the network now, so well, welcome to Illinois.
Hi there.
Nice.
Jason,
Oh, yeah.
Coco Man, Tom C, Richard Wojcicki, otherwise known as
Put them all in a row. Tribute to Mark Momo.
I think I have an extra one here somewhere.
Yeah, I have one in my
Get the other one out. I got two.
David, did you bring yours?
Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. And like I said, I'll have another video soon about with some interviews with my friends at the show about the projects they're working on. And then we'll get back to some more normal content on my channel. Okay, talk to you next time.